Uh, hey, Jam Rolliet here, and I'm going to be reviewing Doctor Who Series 5, Episode 1, The 11th Hour. Okay, so, uh, stick around till the end, because I'm gonna have some announcements, but we might as well get started. So, let's start with the plot. So, the episode starts with the TARDIS falling out of the sky and landing in the backyard of a little girl, Amelia Pond. She meets the Doctor, who has recently regenerated, and he gets these cravings. He tells her he wants an apple, so she gets him an apple. He takes one bite and he's like, "This is awful. I hate apples. I like yogurt." So she gets him yogurt. Takes one bite, spits out and says, "Yo, I hate yogurt. It's just stuff with bits in it." So then he's like, "You're Scottish. Fry something." She makes bacon. Doesn't like the bacon at all. Has beans. Calls them evil. Has bread and butter. Tells it to get out and stay out. And then finally decides to stick with fish fingers and custard, which is quite an interesting combination of food. I've never had it. I like fish sticks, but I've never had custard. I would be willing to try that. I probably will at some point. And so then, after trying out all those different foods, he they go upstairs because she tells him that there's a scary crack in her wall, and he goes to check it out, and it's a place where two bits of space are pushed together that shouldn't be there. So he opens it, and there's a giant eyeball that looks at him and sends him a message on his psychic paper, and it says, "Prisoner Zero has escaped." So then it shuts, and that's that. So then it's like, so then the Doctor starts to investigate because he's like, okay, so Prisoner Zero must have gone through the crack. But then the TARDIS engines start phasing, so he has to take a 5 minute trip, and he promises Amelia Pond 5 minutes, which ends up being 12 years. So then he runs in the house to try to investigate and meets Amy Pond. So then the Atraxi show up and threaten to incinerate the Earth if Prisoner Zero is not located in 20 minutes. The Doctor, clearly, the TARDIS is fixing itself, so the Doctor can't use the TARDIS. So then he tries using the sonic screwdriver, and it, like, explodes. So then, he has no sonic screwdriver and no TARDIS, and has 20 minutes to save the Earth. So then, goes through all this trouble to make a virus that goes around the Earth and switches resets every number back to zero. And he builds it on a cell phone, so then the cell phone comes into play later. So then they meet Rory, Amy's boyfriend, and they use his cell phone because he has pictures of all of Prisoner Zero's disguises. So then they go to find Prisoner Zero, and when they do, they sent the virus world round and resets everything to zero back to the cell phone, and they trace it back to the cell phone, which is full of pictures of Prisoner Zero. So then that's used as part of it. So then they use that, and Prisoner Zero gets captured. So then the Atraxi leave, but the Doctor's not through with them. He calls them back while finding his outfit for himself. And when he does, he asks them a bunch of questions like, has this planet, uh, is it a threat to the Atraxi? No. Has it broken any Laws? No. Is this planet protected? And then it scrolls through a bunch of people that, like, a bunch of aliens that have tried to take over the Earth. And then it flashes on of all the past regenerations of the Doctor. And when it goes to 10, and then Matt Smith walks through and is like, I'm the Doctor. And basically, run. So then the TARDIS key in his pocket starts, like, lighting up. And he gets all excited and runs away because his TARDIS is rebuilt. So then he goes and he uh, does a trip to the moon to get her, like, set in, ready. So then he comes back and to talk to Amelia Pond and ask her if she wants to come with him. And it turns out it's been 2 years, so 14 years since Fish Custard. And yeah, it's pretty awkward. But that's basically the story of the episode. And then now that they're done with that, let's move on to Matt Smith's performance. He does a good job because he gives genuine emotions in his performance, and he does a great job of with his moods that he goes through, and then he does a great job. Like, if I had to pick his best point in the episode, it would definitely be uh his confrontation with the Atraxi. And yeah, that's basically about it. That the episode really doesn't have that much. Like, yeah. So let's go to the good and the bad. Good parts were the food scene, because again, I really could have watched that 10 or 20 more times. And Matt Smith's performance and his confrontation with the Atraxi, and then the relationship between Matt Smith and Amelia Pond, like the young one. It it was really good. Now some bad things. Uh, the middle, like the beginning and the end were great, but middle just not much going on. It gets a little boring. Prisoner Zero, not really that threatening, really. Just kind of a eel. Uh, and the Amelia Pond, like, she's okay, but not really that great. It's really just Matt Smith that's worth watching. So then let's go to a basic overview. Matt Smith does great. Amelia Pond lacking. Uh, this episode, I'd say it's worth a one watch, but not really good rewatch value. So then, my overall score for this episode is 5 out of 10. You guys can say what you want, but that's my opinion. So then, now, as for this, as you should see at about this point, I have put 3 movies on the screen, like 1, 2, or 3, and uh, these are movies that I have and I'm willing to review, and and I want you guys to decide. So whichever one has like the most votes for is what I'll review next. But I will be continuing on with the series of Doctor Who. So, and I'll probably end up doing some gaming videos if my computer will let me. So thanks, and this is Jeremy, yeah, signing off.